It's another episode of On Cue, and we have Asi Renie on Cue today. Hi, Asi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good.
I love your melanin, melanin richness. You understand? You get me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Don't you get that a lot?
Yeah, I do. Like, oh, your skin is really nice. Yeah, I get that a lot now. But before, I didn't like it.
Really? You didn't like your skin? You didn't like your melanin? Is there a reason?
I had to grow into it.
Right.
Yeah, because people used to laugh at me.
Right. And I think that our generation today is beginning to accept,
I think we're more
everything.
I think I'm more confident in it now than I used to be before.
Than before. What changed?
I just think maybe just more mindsets and people also just this is so nice, this is a new thing that people like it and everything. But before you be in school, hey, you're so black.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy actually. Because for your melanin type, right? You know that people actually have this type of melanin and then they go on to the opposite end of the spectrum and then they try and work their way back to it. So I'm just really happy that you've accepted it now. Were you ever at the point where you rethought having to bleach your skin?
Never. That was not an option. I just think I didn't like the fact that I didn't see what was wrong with it, and I didn't like the fact that it was something people would laugh about, and I don't like being teased. It's something I can't stand. But it was just that joke that just put me off. Like if somebody's gonna say something to hurt me, hey, you're so black. You're black like charcoal or something.
Right.
And then you get so angry about it. But I think we were kids, so it's like it was just that thing. And now mindset wise, I don't think people will be making jokes like that.
Yeah.
Anymore.
I mean, now if you make jokes like that, you're going to be cancelled. So take us through a day in your life.
A day in my life, I'm really pretty simple. I wake up, I eat, I use my phone, I read something, I make music, I sleep again. Then whatever I have to do, depending on the day, if I have something coming up like this interview, then I adjust myself. Okay, what time are you waking up today? What do you have to do? Prep and then just move.
For your name, Asi, which I know that's what it is, but I do hear people calling you AC, right? So I would want you to just clarify it, because I love the sound of Asi, right? I know it's not what we are all thinking it is, whether you were born on a Sunday being Ghanaian, right? So let's just talk about that.
I was named after my grandma.
Okay.
So it's ASI.
Okay.
It has no relation to SC, none of that, none of the week of the days, none of those things. Yeah, so I think people they see the name and then naturally just correlate it to SC because Asi is a bit rare. I haven't met a lot of Asis around, so.
I haven't met any.
Really? Yeah, I met 2 so far.
Nice. What's your reaction when people call you Asi instead of AC? Because some people are really clingy when it comes to their name. You dare not mispronounce their name.
No, so I made a shirt because of that.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I should have worn it.
Extreme. Yeah, you should have.
Asi Renie, the phonetic transcription as to how to pronounce it, not Asi Renie or however people pronounce it. Yeah.
Nice. I want to have that. Are you selling any of those? You know how artists or popular people, sell their merchandise and
yes, I do.
Make some money off that.
Yes, I sell my merch at my shows online. Yeah.
Okay.
I just restocked.
I'd want to have one.
I'd
want to have one. So let me know how much it costs and then let's
you.
Support. Okay, it's really important.
You.
Now let's talk about your music. There's so many African elements that you bring together in your music. What have been your influences to have that done?
I think just growing up, the kind of music my parents put me on, just growing up, I think that was one of my biggest influences. They like to go for shows, concerts, and so it's all of those things just fused into me when I decided to know, you know what, I'm going to the studio for the first time, what do I want to sound like? And just also having a bit of myself and where I'm from just in there a bit.
It's been imbibed in you since.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. And I know that you did, you had piano lessons when you were really, really young, which we'll come to, later on in the conversation. But which are the list of these songs that you say were your influences? The songs that you had to listen to growing up.
So I think my dad did this thing where he used to he had this projector, and then I think when people come around, he would play this Vulin de la. You remember that song with Brenda Fassie. And in the video, I don't know why, I just really liked the video and how it just put just something was happening inside me when I was small. I just really liked that video as a child. So I would watch it over and over again. I'm like, Daddy, play that video again, play that video again. And then Hugh Masekela, my dad really loved that guy. So you could watch his live performances and then just chill and everything. So
now with your mentioning of Brenda Fassie, it's I mean, top of mind. I wanted to ask you that question because there's some linkage, right, when it comes to your sound and how you perform. That means you were heavily influenced.
Yeah, without even knowing. Yeah, I think that was one of the things, just listening to her, and then I didn't even think I was fascinated by the artist per se, but I think it was because I was in my incubation state as a child, and it was what caught my attention. I'm like, I really like this video. For some strange reason, the song made me really happy. So
nice. It's actually a really, really good song.
Yeah.
So with the genre you do, it has a fusion, right, of soul, South African house. How have you managed to sail through with that combination? Because it's not typical, right? So how have you done that?
So I think I'm making soul music fundamentally, but I just feel like as I keep on going and I try, people like it, and they also give me vim to just keep on trying and figuring out what the Asi Renie sounds like. Yeah, so I think that's really how I've been maneuvering all this while since I started making music.
Okay, so for your journey in making music, in coming into the limelight, were there any struggles for you? Because also, it's never that easy. I mean, you keep trying and trying. There are so many people who start and then fall off along the line because I'm pushing and then I'm not seeing any results.
Yeah, I think, honestly, I don't think I wanted, if you asked me 2019, 2018, and they used to ask me, Rini, what would you do when you grow up? Music wasn't part of it.
Really?
It wasn't something I was going to do. I was
no,
really...
that's a surprise.
Yeah, no. It was...
So
I knew I could sing. I knew I could sing, but I was really okay, I'm going to study engineering. I'll become an engineer. It wasn't part of it. I knew I could sing, but I just never thought that this is something I would be doing. So I think it really just forced itself around, and then it stayed, and I liked it. So I think with me, I also have this mindset where there's, as much as things are hard, I do not make it an excuse not to succeed.
I like that.
It's if I want to get something done, I look at, okay, generally, what's the direction, where am I trying to go to? And I'm a big believer of the law of attraction. And I set goals, high, realistic. Okay, what can I do? What can I attain? Where am I trying to get to? What do I have at this point? So I think with me, that allows me to deal with the disappointment bit of it.
Okay.
But I also don't try and then I'm not too
fixated.
Attached to the whole, expectation of what success is, because I've defined that for myself and everything. So it's I really just love music. Okay, if this year I'm I want to do a show, I want to release an album, these are the metrics I'm looking for. I want to increase my fan base and all of those things. Those are the things I'm looking at. Then at the end of the day, I go back into my planning board. Was I able to do all of these things? Even if it was by 1%,
you take it off and you're good.
And I'm good.
You did make a reference to disappointments, which is something that will happen constantly. Which has been your most painful disappointment?
I think live performance is my thing.
Okay.
So when I feel like I'm not able to deliver the way I should have been able to deliver, I get really, really sad.
Okay.
Even though people might say, oh, you really spoiled there, it would eat me up, and I'm like, I wish I sang it like this at the beginning. And sometimes you get ahead of yourself when you're on stage. So it's like, you might hit some key where you're like, no, if you continue with this key, you won't make it, but it's just like, I think that's my biggest thing. I think when it comes to me, it's how I'm able to connect with the crowd. Because I used to be very shy. So it's like I'm still dealing with that. Like at first I couldn't make eye contact with the crowd, so I'll close my eyes when I'm singing. I still do it. Okay. So it's like those things I think that's one of my biggest growth processes, where it's like, okay, how do I break out from that timid person? Because people like your music and then come out and
Now, in talking about performances, right? What are your thoughts on Alicia Keys' performances?
I love Alicia Keys' performances. I think my favorite one is, the Apple Show. She sang Falling. I think I replayed it. Like, I watched that because I want to be able to do something like that one day. Yeah, but I think it's just a matter of putting your soul into it and not thinking. And I think that's where I'm trying to get to, because sometimes you think so much and then forget to enjoy yourself, because I know how I sound when I'm alone. So sometimes I'm just very disappointed. I'm like, this sounded so good when I was rehearsing. But like, why all of these nerves and everything? So
okay, so let's link that to your piano lessons, right? Okay. Which I did mention we are going to come to. Is there a time we'll see you doing an Alicia Keys type performance where, you come on, you have your piano, you are singing and performing at the same time, connecting and engaging with your audience?
Yeah, so I think I have to practice with that. Singing and playing is not the easiest thing, especially the coordination. But most of the songs I make, I start on the piano before I even go into the studio. But I think I've done that in front of my parents and a few friends that I was comfortable with, but I haven't done it in front of like a large crowd. But it's something that I want to do. Nice. Just play and then sing.
Nice. Okay, so let's talk about I'll Be There.
Okay.
Right. In producing I'll Be There, you did mention that you play your songs on the piano before you migrated to the studio. So take us through the creation and production of that song.
Okay, so I'll Be There started as like a hum or a chant, like the chorus, whenever, I'll be there. So I think I was just messing on the keyboard. I think it was during COVID, and I always save my voice notes are the most precious thing on my phone are my voice notes. So I always save whatever melody I have on my phone. And then I think one of the times I was just really bored, so I'm just going through my voice notes. So I remember the chords again. I'm like, oh, this is really nice. Then I get the first verse. So I'm like, nah, I have to record the song. So I called Kwame. So Kwame Ebuwa is the guy who produced for I'll Be There. So I was like, you know what? I have this idea. I played it for him on the piano. He was like, okay. So we then worked on the production, which is something that I've started doing now, that I want to be more involved in the production process in terms of instrument selection, what I'm hearing. And then we just really went through it. The last thing was the vocals. Then added okay, we want a sax in here. We want to take that out. But it was a really lengthy process. It didn't happen in a day, maybe 2 to 3 months. And then, I was finally, I'm like, okay, I'm ready.
Nice. And I did realize that there is an acoustic version to I'll Be There as well. Is it because you were more involved in production this time that you realized that, I need to do, an acoustic version of this?
So I always do this thing at home where if I release a song, I play it for my family members. And then I played they had heard me sing the song over and over again in the sitting room. So they were like, my dad was like, he likes the soul version, just me and the piano, nothing extra. And I also was drawn to it because that's the first thing that came to me at that BPM, at that rate, the slowness, just me and my voice, So I was like, you know what? I like the studio version, but I don't think it's going to harm anyone if I also release the initial thing too and just you choose. Like, you can choose whatever it is you prefer, because both of them had its like different personality.
There's something unique to each of the songs. I did realize, however, that you make reference to so many technical terms, right? Will there be a time for you where you do realize that, I'm well informed about what I do, right, in the field that I'm doing it, and so you just step back, regardless of your age, and not make active music anymore, and rather go into music production and then also teaching music?
So I think with the music side, I think lately I've just been realizing that it's such a very large space, and that for everything to work, everything must be working in terms of like the system.
That's actually a good thing, though. For everything to work, everything must be working.
Yeah, so it's like, I need, like, for me, one thing I'm interested in now with doing engineering is like the sound engineering, in the sense that the technical bit of it, like these mics, like, it's something I actually just want to like take time off, and then, you know what, study, go to school again, or just master into it, and then just say, hey, this is something that I'm actually interested in and I want to do it, and then see where I can contribute and stuff. But I really feel like my journey, I don't always, like, for me, I don't always pinpoint like, okay, this is what exactly it is I'm doing. I just feel like at whatever time and season, I have to do what I need to do. And I don't think it takes anything away from me if maybe teaching kids how to play the piano is what needs to be done now, to make sure that there's an ecosystem for the next generation of like creatives who won't have to convince their parents that I want to be an artist, because people like see that, okay, Asi did it and she's okay. So I can also do it too. But I think with me, like right now, my biggest passions are, it's very diverse and big. Like the whole music industry, beyond the singing.
Yes, it is.
It's diverse. There's a lot of other things that I'm learning about, and I'm like, this is also very interesting. I could get into this as well. But it's a learning curve. I master one and then I go on to
the other. We did mention the acoustic version of I'll Be There. For the sake of those who haven't heard it, please serenade us.
He said sing for us. Okay. Okay, it's coming.
Let it come. We're waiting to hear it.
Okay. It's coming. Okay, cool. I see the silver lightning, dandelions came to me. 1, 2, 3, I blew it, and you came to me. Whenever you know I'll be there. Whenever you know I'll be there. Whenever you know I'm there for you. You know I'm there for you. Whenever you know I'll be there. Whenever you know I'll be there. Whenever you know I'm there for you. You know I'm there for you.
I could just sing what you sang and have you rate me, but I don't want to disgrace myself.
Please do.
I don't want to disgrace myself, so I wouldn't do that. Let's talk about Bring Your Mat.
Okay.
I like the name. I like the concept. Now, in its second year of production, what are some lessons you've picked from this year's one and then the past year's one that you'd want to apply to future ones to make it better?
I think it's really about what I've learned now is detaching my brand as an artist from an event in terms of like how long you want it to run, you know. So from this year's experience, I tried to detach as much and say, you know what, this is not even about an Asi event. This is about creating a space for creatives like me to express themselves.
Right.
So it's like you realize that this is not even about you anymore. So I think that's just trying to do that. There was a bit of like, okay, hurdles. It's like, okay, people don't understand that. Designer explaining to the flyer guy, why aren't you putting your face there, you know, and your team too as well, to also just get on the same page and everything. But yeah, I think event planning is something that I actually also really enjoy. And like it's
a multifaceted bee.
No, like I think I like things that make my work easier. So when I don't have control over something, or I feel like, okay, what's causing me not to express myself? Okay, how do I want it to look like? Rather than explaining it to someone in anticipation of, okay, let me create this space for me.
You do it yourself.
I would just go like, you know what, I'll do it myself.
Right.
It's fine.
Right.
I'll try and create something. So I think that's been one of my biggest like lessons. Just, okay, how do I make it bigger? How do I treat it as a brand on its own?
Nice. Now, in talking about detachment, one thing that stands out to me is selflessness, right? Because it's difficult as especially a budding artist to want to say that I have a product and I don't want to be fronting the product. I want to rather step back and create that enabling environment for other artists to thrive. What brought you exactly to that point where you're like, okay, I need to put my selfless self, take it away from that, and then build that brand and that product?
I think it really depends on a person's vision and what they're looking for. So it's like, for me, I'm in a space, like I'm in a place where I'm like, okay, I want to create a space or an event very large, like Roots Picnic.
Okay.
Technically, Bring Your Mat is, if you're looking for something like blankets and wine, Roots Picnic, that vibe, where we call them alternative artists, but just
in touch
with artists
themselves.
that are very intimate, have a space to express themselves on a large scale. You know, so it's like, that was really the goal. So when you know that the goal, it's not really about you.
Yeah.
It's not even about me. It's like, okay, this is what I wanted to do. If it's a Asi Renie show, yes, I'll be center stage, all about me. You see my name everywhere. Yeah, but this was about them, and then creating that ecosystem for me to also be able to express myself. So I think it's really about the goal, the vision, what you're looking at for the brand itself. So it's just about detaching and realizing that this is also something on its own. The Asi Renie brand is also something on its own, and then you move from there.
Nice. I like to be at the subsequent editions of Bring Your Mat. Yes, I'd want to be there and hear you and the other people sing their hearts and their souls out.
Yeah.
You did mention an ecosystem, and the ecosystem definitely has fans involved, right? So I'm just going to have some fan reactions. You may or may not have seen this, but VLK Jokoto says, "This record by Asi Renie seeps into your psyche seamlessly, therapeutic as always. Listen for yourself." How does that make you feel?
I think then your music is doing what it needs to do, and it just keeps me going. And, you know, okay, we're making more music for people to feel happy, feel good. Yeah, basically.
Which leads me to my next one from Viceroy Hill. He says, or she says, because I don't exactly know, didn't realize how much I miss Asi Renie's music till she dropped this lovely new tune. Okay, I like that made you smile. And then I'll read the last one from Highly Celestial that says, "I've listened to thousands of artists in this world and I've heard amazing vocals and sounds, but only 2 people ever made me shed a tear for how amazing they make me feel, Asi Renie and John Bellion."
Hey, that's crazy. Compare me to John Bellion.
Is there a time that would have a collab with you and John Bellion?
Hopefully.
Considering they put both of you together.
Yeah, the universe, the world, right now, that guy started it, so the universe will make it work.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
I'll look forward to that.
Yeah.
I'll look forward to that. But thank you, Asi.
Thank you too.
It's been a good conversation, hasn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yes, and I love your smile. I love your smile.
Thank
now
you.
you go out there, be greater, do bigger, and blow up. So beyond the borders of Ghana and
Amen.
Africa. Amen.
Yes.
We're done. We're done. We're done.
Thank you.
We're done. No. Wait. Hold on, Asi. Your socials.
Asi_Renie on all platforms: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Yeah. And if you're looking for my music on Apple Music, Asi Renie.
So find her, guys. And we are truly done for now. Catch you on the next episode of On Key. My name, Lerny Lomotey. Bye-bye. Peace out.